Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Mercy and you are highly welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, God bless you so much. On today's video, we are going to be making this beautiful bubu gown. Okay, so if this is what you are interested in learning, just keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. So let's get right into the video. So this is the fabric we'll be using today. We'll be using this one for the body and the other one for the collar. Okay, so actually we're using 3 years of this fabric to make this bubu gown. So I went ahead to fold my fabric into two and also folded it again, making it four. Okay, so I folded it according to the length of the bubu gown and I added 2 extra to it. So I went ahead and measure my nipple to nipple measurement. That will also serve as my armhole length. Okay, so I marked it out. I went ahead to mark out my waistline. Okay, my waist measurement and also my hip measurement. So I went ahead to also measure my sleeve. Okay, so I marked it out. So the next thing I did was just to connect all the lines. So I went ahead to divide my bust into 4. Divided my bust into 4, gave me 9.25. Then I added 3-inch allowance, 1 inch for sewing allowance and 2 inch for the ease. Remember, it's a bubu gown, it's not a fitted gown. So I added 3 inches and then I also went to the hip line. I divided the hip by 4 and whatever we have, and I also added 3 inches. So the next thing I did was to measure whatever I have for the hip line and I marked it out for the body as well, everything down to the full length of the bubu gown. So I just went ahead and connected all the lines together to the armhole length. So I connected all the lines. Then the next thing we're going to do now is to give our armhole a curve. Okay, so you just give it a curve like this, very easy, or you can use your ruler. If you can't use freehand, you can go ahead and use your curve ruler. Okay, so the next thing I did was to measure the neck. We are cutting out the back. Remember, we are cutting both the back and the front together and we are not slitting the shoulder. So the wideness I did 3.5 and the depth was 1.5 inch. So I just went ahead and connect and give it a curve for the back. We'll come back to the front later. So I just gave it a curve and then cut it out. So I also went ahead and cut out the body. So this is what we have after cutting everything. So we're going to get where our pocket is going to start from. So from the waistline, you just come down by 1 inch. That's where your pocket is going to start from. Then I measure 7 inches. that's the wideness of the pocket. So you go ahead and just notch that place in case you are sewing, so you know where the pocket to start from. You notch it. Okay. Since we are cutting both the back and the front, so now I'm going to separate it. This is the back. Okay, so I'll just remove it like this. Okay, so I'll bring it together so I will be able to cut out the front part. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just to give the shoulder a line so you will know where we are cutting from. So I went ahead off camera to cut out the collar. I used 5-inch, yes, 5-inch. So if we're folding into two to give us 2.5, okay, yes, 2.5. Half is for the sewing allowance and 2 is the main collar. Measure out 2-inch from the front because we are taking that front out. We are taking that particular part out. We just measure 2-inch down to the full length of the bubu gown. Then you connect all the lines. Now, when you get to the bust point, you are going to connect that line to the neck like this. Not straight, but you just connect it like this, just the way I did here. I hope you understand what I did. You just connect it here to the lines we have at the shoulder. Okay, so we are going to cut out that part, but first we are going to launch the back part so we'll know the center. Then I went ahead and cut out this part that we marked, which is the front, and that place is where we'll have our collar. So to get the full length of the correct length of the collar, you just go ahead and measure from your back neckline. You measure through to the front neckline and to the full length of your bubu gown. So what I have here was 60. So when I was cutting out this particular collar, I added like 10 extra inches for safety purpose. Okay, so when you are cutting out your collar, please add extra inches to it. So what we are going to do now is to measure where our curve is going to get to, meaning our back to front curve or opening. So I measure from the neck down to my bust point. It gave us 13. So that is where I'm going to be having the opening. So I went ahead and fold this collar into 2 and then mark out 13, which is going to be our opening at the front. So I just connected everything together. Now our slitting, I measure from my shoulder down to where I want the slitting to get to. Okay, so I minus it from the full length. It gave me 13. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the center of this particular. So I mark out the center part. Now I make sure I get the center of this particular collar. So I just use my hands to just give it a line at the center and then mark it out to know, as you can see here. So I use my chalk to give it a line. So from that front opening line to the down slit, we're just going to go to our sewing machine now and sew down to this point. Okay, so this is what I have after sewing down to this point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up this particular collar, okay, then and give it a press. I will just open it up like this, open it up like this. So at this point you are going to put it on your neck, or you can just wear it to see if you are okay with the front opening and the slitting as well. So if you are not okay with it, then you can just adjust it. You just adjust it at this point, because if you leave it, you will not be able to adjust it again after sewing. So this is what I have after giving it a press. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is to just bring our fabric and make sure you also get the center of the collar. Okay, get the center of the collar, make sure the collar is facing the right side. So you just pin the center of the collar to the back neckline. Remember, we also notch the center back. So you just pin it down, you pin everything down, both sides. So you pin it down, go to your sewing machine and sew. So this is what I have after sewing. I'm just giving it a notch at the neck part. Okay, I just notch them out, and for it to be relaxed, and then cut out the excess at the hand. So I also went ahead and give it a good press. Okay, so I went ahead to stitch the side and notch our armhole. So this is what we have after notching and ironing. So this is it for bubu gown. Very easy to cut and stitch. Okay, if this video was useful, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share. And if you have any question, you can drop it at the comment section. Please don't also forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. So see you in my next video. Bye.